Hey, how's it going? And welcome to my masterclass on how to grow your general contracting business by 300K. This is part one of five, and I'm going to teach you everything that I do for GCs all over the US to increase revenue. And all you need to do is follow along with a computer. I've studied hundreds, if not thousands, of general contractor websites to reverse engineer what actually works to get more projects booked. I've also reverse engineered what the biggest agencies for website agencies and SEO agencies are currently doing for general contractors. In this video, specifically part one, I'm going to show you how to fix your current website so that visitors will choose you as their general contractor, and I'll also scratch the surface on how you can get more visitors to your website. The goal of this series is twofold. Number one, to get more people to know of you and your business, to get them to know what services you provide, what locations you service to get them to, I guess, find you when they Google for a remodel or something of that sort. And then second is to get people to choose you. Not only are they going to find you and know about you, that big pool of people that now knows about you, I want a bigger percentage of that pool to trust you enough and choose you for their project. If you think about general contractors, there's a lot of trust that goes into hiring a GC. You're giving them tons of money to do something in your home, and you're inviting them in your home for months sometimes. So there's a lot of trust that goes into this, and you need to build that trust with your website, with your Google business listing, and so on and so forth. Real quick, I'm Ryan Russo. I run a company called Ground Up Websites, and I build high-performing websites for general contractors to get them more projects per year. I've built an entire blueprint for my websites and what I do with SEO to help these sites actually rank on Google. And I'm going to give you everything that I do for free over the next few videos with no gatekeeping, no secrets. I'm going to show you all my tools. I'm going to explain to you why I do the things that I do. And everything is completely free. There's no sales pitch for me. I'm just giving this to you so you can improve your own website, your own Google business listing, and actually start climbing the ranks and booking more projects. The reason I chose general contractors is not that I have really any background with GCs other than I know a lot of them personally, but I look at this industry and I see that nobody is doing anything with their website, with SEO, with their Google business listing. And you probably know this because you're probably not doing these things either, but maybe you'll start after this video. That's my hope for you. But when I'm looking at these websites, I see maybe 3% of GCs are actually doing anything, let alone doing everything on their website correctly with SEO and with just what they have content-wise on their website. So I live in Sarasota, Florida. I looked in my area, there's 196 general contractors. And back before I started working with several of them, there was like 10 of them maybe that were doing any of these things. So if you take all the learnings from this video and the next videos, this whole series, and you implement even 50, 60, 70% of the things that I give you, you will be in a completely new league compared to the other general contractors in your area. There's very low competition. And like I said, GCs generally don't care about this stuff, which is really beneficial to you if you do care about it and you work on it. So this picture, by the way, if you don't know these dots, what this is showing is it's showing your and this is an example, but this example of this business, they're ranking on Google in each of these locations. So each dot is if somebody searched for a general contractor in that specific area. So you can see in this before picture, they ranked number 2 right here on their business, but everywhere else they're ranked 20th plus. So they're on page 3 or more on Google, which, as you know, gets you absolutely 0 leads if you're on page 3. And then after implementing these things, this is the kind of results you can see. They're ranking number 1, number 3, and so on and so forth. And this just continues to grow and gets better. The goal of this series, just completely transparent with you, I want to get you more projects and I want to get you better projects. I want to get you higher paying projects. If you're used to doing $50,000, $100,000 projects, I want to get you customers that are willing to do $500,000 remodels, full condo remodels, etc. depending on what kind of areas you have near you. If you have more affluent areas that you're trying to break into, this is going to help you get here. And I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know. Like I said earlier, all the tools, everything that you need to succeed. So real quick, this series, the first one is about website structure, navigation, and diagnosing the issues on your own website. Then I'm going to go into your Google business listing, how you can optimize that to start climbing the ranks. We're going to talk about, in part 3, we're going to talk about on-page SEO and keyword research. This gets slightly technical, but it's not hard, and you can do it. I always say to the GCs I work with, if you can, build a kitchen, you can do on-page SEO or these simple things. They're really not hard, and I'm going to walk you through it step by step. In part 4, I'm going to talk about local SEO, citations, directories. You know the Google directory, you know Bing, you know Yelp, you know Yellow Pages. These are all directories that you can list your business info into, and I'm going to talk about those and how those can help your business. And then in part 5, you probably won't watch this video. It's all about technical SEO. So what we submit to Google, what we tell Google about your business and about your website, that helps Google decide if they're going to rank your business when somebody searches for your service. Okay, I just included this slide to talk about why websites can be important for you and why you should spend your time working on your website. This is kind of comparing websites, SEO, and Google Business to running ads, Google or Facebook ads, to just word of mouth. Most general contractors that I talk to are completely word of mouth. A lot of them have been in business for 30 years, and this is just what they do. But there are some big upsides to investing your time into fixing your website SEO. And you should do ads. I'm not trying to knock ads. I think ads are great for growing your business. There's just two kind of schools of thought, or you can do both. But the one thing I wanted to point out on this slide is we're trying to build trust with customers, and you can do that very easily with a website, with showing your photos, showing your face. We're going to talk about all that more in the next slides. I'm going to go into 15 tips that I have for you on your website. But building trust is a huge part of getting somebody to choose you as their general contractor. But a website actually is a digital asset that you get to own forever. It's yours, and if you invest the time now, or maybe some money now, you can reap the benefits of having that website for the rest of time. It's yours. When you go to, a lot of general contractors pass their business on to a son, or maybe an apprentice. At some point, you get to pass on your website to them, which is an asset for them. Or if you go down the line, you sell your general contractor business, this actually increases the value of your business, having a really solid website that ranks high on Google. And then the last thing on here that I want to just point out, I use kind of an e-commerce term here for AOV. AOV is average order value, but what I mean by this is you can get higher priced projects, higher cost projects to the homeowner for you to actually make more money per project from a website. So that's a huge benefit. Okay, ranking in the top 5 of Google will change your business forever. So let's get into it. So number 1, the first thing you need to know is how many visitors come to your website. This is a key metric for you, and if you don't know this, you need to know it. So how we do this is with Google Analytics. Google Analytics is the standard for tracking users on any website. Pretty much every website that you go to has Google Analytics installed, and that's how the owner of that website gets to see these stats. So it tells you how many people come to your website, where they came from, did they Google your business and come straight from Google? Did somebody refer them, like text them a link to come to your website? Did they find you off of Facebook or Instagram? It also tells you how long they stayed on your site, what pages they went to on your site. So it's a great tool for you to get data. But the primary thing you need to know to start is how many people are coming to your website. And the reason for that is if you're not getting visitors to your website, you need to work on SEO. SEO is what's getting people to your website. If people aren't coming to your website, you can't sell them on your service. But if you are getting visitors, but you're not getting calls from that, I would say if you're getting 100 or 200 visitors a month, that's fine. You should work on building trust with those visitors and converting them to be your customer and to paying you dollars. So think about that. Try to figure out how many users are coming to your website so you can diagnose what you need to work on. Now, I don't have a full video on how to install Google Analytics. It's very, very simple. And just go to YouTube and type in, if you're on Wix or GoDaddy or WordPress, just type in how to install Google Analytics on, with the CMS that you're using for your website. Okay, so I love this tool. It's called SEO Optimer or SE Optimer, and it's free, and it gives you a ton of insight to what is going on with your website, your SEO, the speed of your website, how many visitors you get. Now, it gives you a monthly traffic estimate. This is a complete estimate, and it can't be completely trusted. So if you're not going to do Google Analytics, just run a report from SEO Optimer, and it'll give you an estimate. So you go to SEOoptimer.com and you just type in your domain for your website, and it will give you a full SEO report. And it's free. It's a great tool. I use it every day. So again, it will give you a rough estimate of monthly traffic, and then it also gives you this nice SEO report that walks you through a bunch of things you need to fix on your website. So follow that, and yeah, just check it out. It's free. Okay, number 3, speed. The speed of your website is really important for 2 reasons. And that report, towards the middle bottom, you will see these little circles with the number, and that's the speed out of 100 for your website. So this example, the desktop speed is 87, and the goal is to get to 90. And their mobile speed is 36, which is terrible, and the goal should be to get over 70. So the 2 reasons that speed are important, number 1 is for user experience. Somebody clicks on a link and goes to your website, and it's loading for more than 2 seconds. People have short attention span, and they're going to just go back and go to the next one because they know there's a bunch of general contractors and they want quick results. The second reason, which might be more important for having a quick website, is that this is what Google is looking for. So Google knows the speed of your website. If it's slow loading, they're not going to recommend people come to your website. So you need to fix this. We're going to talk about how to fix this in a later video. But for now, you need to go to the report, see what your speed is. It does give you some ways to fix it here, but it's not great on following the execution of that. Okay, number 4 is responsiveness. This is somewhat basic, but you need to have your website loading perfectly on phones, tablets, computers, and even the tablet when it's sideways, the sideways view of it. On the report, you can kind of see what your website looks like on mobile and tablet. Sometimes they get these wrong, so pull up your website on your phone or if you have a tablet and check it out, see what it looks like. Make sure that the functionality of your website is working. Primarily make sure that when they click on contact you or they fill out a form, they click your phone number, something like that. Those things work. Those are the most important parts of your website. And remember, we're at a point where about 50 to 60% of people are looking at websites on phones now. So you need to kind of optimize your website for mobile first. Now, if you have an older demographic, which a lot of GCs I talk to are catering towards an older generation, you might have a higher percentage on desktop. But either way, your site should look good on all of them, and Google knows if it does look good on all of them. Another more basic tip I have is your website should be HTTPS, which is the security of your website should have an SSL certificate, which Google looks for to make sure that your website is not malicious in any way, and that when people visit your website, they are safe and that you're not going to do anything malicious to them. So you should have an SSL certificate, you should have HTTPS, and that just shows up in the search bar. Okay, your URL structure is another thing that is quite important. We're kind of going more advanced as we come through the list. The URL structure is important to teach Google what your pages are about, and you should have a correct URL structure. So I've given 3 examples here. The first one is, I just made up a website, generalcontractor.com, but this is your website /kitchen remodel Albany. This is a great URL structure. Or even better, you would have locations and then Albany, and then slash kitchen remodel or something like that. Or you could have services slash kitchen remodel Albany. These teach Google, okay, this is a service and this is the service that we're talking about. This is a location and this is the location we're talking about. So just keep that in mind when you're setting up your URL structure. These are called the slugs of the URL. Those need to be thoughtful, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Okay, a call to action on a website is saying, book your free consultation, call me, etc. This is what you're instructing the visitors of your website to do. And these need to be clear, they need to be big, they need to be everywhere, on every single page, multiple times, because at the end of the day, yes, your website is informing your customers, but your website really needs to call them to action, call them to take action and call you, or book an estimate or a consultation to fill out a form, so on and so forth. Clickable info is another thing. People are on the phone, they see your phone number, they want to be able to click it and call you. They see your email, they want to click it and it take them to their mail app, okay? These are very easy things to do. And if somebody goes to click it and they go, wow, it doesn't click, I got to memorize this phone number, go over to my calling my phone app and then type in the number or highlight it, select it. Don't make it difficult for people to get a hold of you. These are your customers that have spent time on your website. They are warm customers that now know you. It should be very, very easy for them to get a hold of you. I did this button for one of my customers that told me that most of their customers are older folks, and they want to see the phone number and they want to click a button to call the phone number. And he said that some of them didn't know they could click on the number itself to call. So I made a button for him that literally says call now. So think about these kind of things and how you can make the experience better for your website visitors. This is just one extra tip for CAPTCHAs. This is the I'm not a robot thing. Put this at the bottom of your form. This will help you get less spam emails. If you're getting a lot of spam from your form, then add a CAPTCHA and that will stop the automated form fills for your website. And I just made a joke like if you don't want my cold email campaigns to hit you, put this on there. And the other thing you can do is to remove your plain text email address. So if in the footer of your website it says, john@constructioncompany.com, there are plenty of tools that will just pull that down and then start emailing you. So you might want to remove that. You might want to keep it. If you're not getting a ton of spam, I'd keep it so that people know your email address immediately. If you are getting a ton of spam, get rid of that. Put a form that they can fill out with their name, phone number, email, and a message, and then this CAPTCHA, and then just have them submit those. And that will help you decrease the spam. Each service that you do should have its own page. This is an absolute necessity if you are trying to rank higher on Google. If you just have a homepage that says, here's the 5 services I offer, I do roofs, I do additions, I do remodels, that is not good enough, and that is one contributing factor to why a lot of people do not rank at all. Put each service on each page. So if somebody is searching for a kitchen remodel in Albany, you have a page that says kitchen remodel, or even better, if you have a page that says kitchen remodel Albany, that's like the best thing you could do. Google is looking at your page titles and is recommending people based on those pages. So your home page is not getting recommended as often if somebody types in kitchen remodel as if you had a whole page for that. So just keep that in mind. The next part is talking about your locations. I see a lot of times general contractors, maybe they researched SEO a couple years ago and they kind of just like blast all the locations at the bottom of the website. And this is not the correct way to do it. The correct way to do it is to list the locations that you service within the copy of your website, and within paragraphs. You can do bullet points, but you should be listing these as if you were talking to a person from there, right? So you're saying, I do kitchen remodels in Albany. I do custom home design in Dallas. So I searched for kitchen remodel Albany, and look at these results. Every result is a specific page that says kitchen installation design in Albany. This one says kitchen remodeling in Albany. and kitchen remodel in Albany. So if you want to show up here for the search, you need this exact term. So keep that in mind. And you can do this for every location that you want to hit. It's tedious. You have to make a lot of pages. You have to put in a lot of work, but that's what it takes to be number 1 or number 2 or number 5 on the homepage of Google. Okay, it takes a lot of work and it takes trying. So keep that in mind. The other tip I have about locations, I see a lot of people, they just list every location that's within 2 hours of them. And this is not the best strategy. Number 1, I would keep your locations within an hour, even within 30 or 45 minutes of your business location. Google knows where you're located, and you can list all the locations you want, but at the end of the day, they're not recommending you for somewhere that's 2 hours away. Unless you're a national company, it doesn't work that way. So stick with the places close to you and use smaller cities. People want to go Tampa, they want to go St. Pete, I'm using the locations near me, Orlando. Use the smaller cities that don't have as big of a name. People are searching for those terms, and the other general contractors in your area are not targeting those. Everyone's targeting the big cities because they think that's what they're supposed to do. But there's a lot of money to be made by listing the locations that are smaller, that are closer to your business. Like, I mean, immediately next to the location of your business. All right, FAQs, another thing that is just completely ignored by a lot of general contractors. This is so important. I can't stress this enough. When somebody comes to your website and they want to know what you do, what locations you serve, etc., they have questions in their mind. The reason they come to your website is because they have a question in their mind. And you need to be the one that answers that question, or they will leave and find somebody who does answer their question. Now, you might get lucky, they might call you and ask you the question, but really, you should answer their questions on the site. You should tell them, how long projects take, what projects you do, when can you start my project, things like that. What are the costs? If you can estimate the costs of projects, I know it's not a one-size-fits-all. Trust me, I understand how it works. But just anything to just somewhat estimate, or a minimum or something that you can give them this information, that will really help you a ton. So put FAQs on every page of your website. Okay, the above the fold, this is kind of a newspaper term, but when somebody comes to your website, before they scroll, what do they see? That is what is considered above the fold. And it's shocking, the data of people that never scroll on a website. They come to the website, they see what they see, and then they make a decision or they leave. A lot of times people will not scroll on your website, and you need to give them as much information in that top, this is called a hero section, by the way. This image is called the hero section. You give them as much information, as much trust, as much value as you can immediately, and you need to give them a call to action immediately, or several calls to action immediately. So I've given you an example here. I have a call to action, schedule a consultation. I explain what this business does, where they primarily do it, and I've pointed out that they have 5 stars on Google. Okay, and then there's even another call to action. The only thing that would make this hero better is if I had a photo of the owner to start building trust, or of the owner and their team, or a contact form where they can immediately fill out their contact information and they can contact you. Okay, those are the 2 things that I would add to this hero section to make it a little better. And it's tough design-wise to include all that stuff and make it look good, but it can be done. Okay, this is just kind of like a bullet list of everything you need to do for your website, everything that it should have. I'm just going to go through each of these quickly. First off, you need a projects page. I highly recommend you make the projects page specific projects. And what I mean by that is you say, okay, we did this kitchen remodel for John and Diane. They're in Sarasota. This is what they asked for. Diane wanted the white kitchen with the gold accents or fixtures. She wanted this type of countertop. She wanted this type of island. They had this wall that was in the way. We took down this wall, we did this, we did this. We solved each problem we encountered. Oh, we found out that the plumbing was yada yada. We fixed this as we went, and now it's all perfect. You show the befores, the durings. We show you in a picture on site working in their kitchen. This builds trust. You care about the person. You're in their home. You're solving all of their problems. They love you. And then we show the after photo, the beautiful photo of this amazing kitchen that you did, and the backsplash, and yada yada. Okay, this is perfect. This is what you want to do with your project's page. And if you can even have Tom and Diane's review there at the bottom, 5 stars, we recommend this guy, yada yada, that's great. If you're not willing to do all that work, which a lot of GCs I talk to are not, do the gallery, put all your 72 photos of all the beautiful photos you've done, and that's great too. It's not as powerful, but it is great. You should have an about the owner. This talks about you as a person. This talks about your company, what you care about, the quality of work you do. You want to position yourself as a quality general contractor, as the best general contractor. You don't want to be the most affordable guy, the guy that's going to do it for the lowest price. That's not really how you win as a general contractor. So we're talking about quality. We're talking about the materials you use, talking about the details, how you care. All of this stuff should be represented when you talk about the owner, and we should get to know the owner too. John has a family, he's got 2 kids, he loves to go fishing, whatever it is. These things are important. You get to know the person that you're inviting into your home. Next thing you need is a contact us form or a page or both. They need a way to get a hold of you. That's just obvious, and a lot of people are looking for that on your website. When they come, they trust you, and now they go, okay, how do I contact you? So make it easy for them. Talked about the services. You need every service you do and every sub-service you do. So if you do kitchen remodels, you should have a sub-service that says you do cabinets and countertops. You do backsplash. Those things should be listed. People want all of the information when they're on your site. And then we already talked about specific service pages, specific locations. Put your form to contact you on every page. Put FAQs on every page. Testimonials. Most of you know this. There's 2 thoughts about testimonials that you can think about for your specific business and how you want to do them. The first one is you can make your testimonials look really beautiful. You can design them all nice, and they can look all modern and have a little picture of the owner or whatever you want to do. Have a picture of the kitchen that you did with the testimonial and your 5-star review, and you can make it look pretty. That's one school of thought that kind of gives you more of a branded professional look. The other school of thought is that you can just import your testimonials from Google, from Thumbtack, from HomeAdvisor, and if you import them, it doesn't give you the option to edit them. You're just literally pulling in your Google reviews from Google onto your website, and that looks a little more transparent and trustworthy. You're not editing these testimonials. It's not just something that you could have written yourself. It's literally the same review from Google is now on your site. It doesn't look as pretty, but it does give off the authenticity of that testimonial. You should put impressive stats on your site. There's no need to be humble. You should say, hey, I've done 300 plus projects. Hey, I've been in business for 18 years. I've been serving Sarasota County for 13 years, whatever it is. I've done this amount of specific kitchen remodels or this amount of basement remodels or whatever it is. You should list those things out so people know that you're the man, right? You're positioning yourself as the best in your area. Next, do not load your page with a ton of just words. Load your page with a ton of quality copy, things that show that you are an authority in the space, you understand what you're talking about, that you know what you're doing, you have the expertise in what you're doing. You need to come across as somebody that knows what you're talking about and not just have like paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of whatever. If you're using ChatGPT to write your copy, that's fine, but go through and heavily edit it, okay? That's not the correct thing to do. And one more thing about this, you should have a lot of copy as well. The more words you have on your page, the more things Google can read and know that you do. So more copy is better than less copy, but you want it to be quality copy. And one tip that I have, just go back a few slides, you can store a lot of copy in these drop downs for FAQs. You can get up to 2,000 words on your homepage just by answering these FAQs very clearly, and then you can collapse them so it doesn't look like you have tons and tons and tons and tons of paragraphs and somebody's like, I can't read all of this, you know? But it still gives you the benefit of showing Google that you are taking time to type and answer questions and use the words in your industry, you know. Okay, I kind of beat a dead horse there. Let's move on. Have photos, have lots of photos, show your work. Do not use stock images. Do not use other people's images. Animations and like clip art and like little animated general contractor in the hard hat. It does not look good. It does not position you as an expert that does high quality work. Every page should have your name, address, phone number. If you have a physical location, you can have your address. If you do not have a physical location and your business just has a service area, meaning that you work from your house, you don't want people to come to your house as your address, don't include that. But include your business name, your phone number, your email on every page if you want your email in plain text or your form. Just have your business information available everywhere you can put it so that nobody has any question as to how to get a hold of you. Okay, and the last thing, I don't go into design, and I know that general contractors, not necessarily web designers, you're not going to, you know, make the most beautiful website on the whole internet, but you should think about your website and how it looks just from a beauty standpoint. The design, the thought, and the care that you put into your website, it comes across to your customers that are looking at your website as the quality of this website reflects the quality of the work you're going to do in their home. So spend a little bit of time on your design. Don't throw it out the window and say it doesn't matter. And the more people that come to your website as you grow in your SEO, the more important it is for your site to be beautiful. If you are positioning yourself as the top of your area, your website should look like the top of your area. Somebody looks at your website and they look at the other 10 people, they should be like, oh my gosh, this website is amazing. This guy must be the best. Okay, number 15, the last one. This is just about linking your pages together. I'm not going to go crazy with this, but there's something called orphaned pages that really affect your SEO. So in this example, I have like this projects page was created, but it doesn't link to anything. And that's not how you should do your linking. You should link all of your pages with all of your pages. This is really good for lots of technical reasons that I'm not going to completely get into. Google crawls your website with their robot, and they go to each page and they follow every single link. So if you link to yourself over and over and over, you get to show Google your website more and more and more. And you can do that with buttons, or you can do that with hyperlinks. This is what a hyperlink is. Last tip is your navigation, your menu that says, you know, homepage, services, projects, about us, contact us, or your testimonials, your residential, your commercial, so on and so forth. That menu should be on the top of your page, in the middle. Do not get fancy with it. This is not a competition. The customers that come to your website, they think all of that is going to be in the top middle. So put it there because that's where they're looking for it. It doesn't have to be fancy. In a row, all the things, all the links to your different pages, top middle, okay? You know, your call to action should be top left. That's what we're doing on websites now. Or sorry, top right. And top right, this is where your button goes. This is just how websites work, okay? So don't get fancy. Don't do anything crazy. Give them what they're looking for. All right, that was the last one. That was the last tip, number 15. In my next video, I'm going to go over your Google business account, how you can optimize it, how you can work on your reviews, how you can respond to your reviews. These things really, really, really help with you growing in SEO and ranking higher, getting more reviews. I'll give you a tip on how you can get better reviews. So you'll get less 1-star, 2-star, 3-star reviews, and you can start getting more 5-star reviews. That's in the next video. Again, this is a 5-part series. I'll continue to make videos after this series as well, but subscribe to the channel so that way when the next one comes out, which should be in about 2 days, you can watch that one and start working on your Google business account. Okay? Thank you.